Please be advised, the topic of this discussion will be a video game mod that features flashing imagery. As much as I would like everybody to see this, keep your own personal safety in mind if you wish to go view the mod for yourself. With that out of the way, welcome. What would you say if I told you one of the greatest works of art I've seen in years is a mod for a video game featuring an internet meme to create a horror opera experience? A mod that uses art, music, and presentation to incredible effect. If you responded with, "Boy, that was a loaded question that really makes me want to believe what you said is true, and you really need to work on your intros," you're right. Friday Night Funkin' is a rhythm video game located on Newgrounds that feels like a bit of a cross between Parappa the Rapper and DDR. Instead of lyrics, however, it's more like an a cappella rap battle. Each character you face has different sounds to their vocals, and in the end it brings the songs together very well. In terms of story, Daddy Dearest and Mommy Nearest, yes, those are their names, are doing their damnedest to keep Boyfriend from being with their daughter named Girlfriend. Again, those are their names, and I love them for it. Outside of those main characters, we also have famous Newgrounds animation characters getting into the mix. And in the end, you have to prove to all of them that you have the funky flow and confidence that Girlfriend loves so much about Boyfriend. And by the way, both parents are obviously demons, and Girlfriend is one as well. It's implied and theorized that Boyfriend is actually getting help from Girlfriend using her powers when he sings. However, regardless, these two are just happy little idiots in the face of danger, maybe not even realizing they're in it, and with Girlfriend's powers, they can afford to be airheads. However, it is important to remember that this is not a game for kids.
There's one way to settle this. Let's rock, you little cunt.
Friday Night Funkin' is a good game, however, and it deserves to be recognized as such. The music especially is good enough to have had 4 of them show up on the Billboard electronica charts. So of course the music's good, and I'm going to listen to it some more, so I've got it playing while I'm working, and eventually the algorithms of YouTube start giving me some recommendations. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole that ended at Malicious Bunny. Malicious Bunny had, by this point in time, posted 2 videos about troll incidents. If you've been on the internet enough, you'll recognize the troll face meme, typically used in forum reaction images or what are labeled rage comics. And I'm sorry if you already knew all this, because it's common knowledge with everybody on the internet almost, but I do want anybody that sees this to be able to understand what I'm talking about when I get into the later things with what I do want them to see. Anyway, after a while somebody got the bright idea of combining the troll face meme with Eldritch Horror. And I'm not sure I can give the full timeline, and even if I did, I'm sure I'd miss a few things or get a couple things wrong. And it's kind of getting into the weeds for what we're talking about in this fashion. What is important to bring up is the Heaven's Stairway incident comic created by Ebola Granola, which seems to be where the current idea and format of trolls was codified and took off as something actually horrific and scary. Malicious Bunny eventually released an animation of her own telling that story, as well as adding a little more of her own characters and mythos to that of the trolls meme. Trolls. Yeah, you know it's Eldritch Horror when you can't say the name right. With the second video she posted, Malicious Bunny introduced us to a team. She was still doing the animation, but 2 musicians were brought on. I believe it's pronounced Easy Halt and Favrio. The 2 videos are pretty good and creepy on their own, but with all this build-up, I think we all know what I'm about to get into next.
I tried to be complacent, tried to expel them peacefully. But all of this is useless, ha. You got what you wanted, Blueballs boy. It's better not regret now. Let's do a little trolling.
Beep.
So, when I first had the Blueballs incident recommended to me by YouTube, I saw it over on the side and I just kept brushing it off. After all, a goofy name like that, how can you take it seriously? And after about a week, I started thinking that creepy grin was hiding something behind it worth more than just a stupid name. And I'm going to tell you, the first time I saw this mod, it was a memorable experience. I wanted to share it with everyone. It impressed me that much. Boyfriend is now presented as working for a Trolls Containment Foundation and has a microphone that lets his singing be used as a weapon against the Trolls individuals. He's sent to take care of the one from the second video named Smiler. And by the end of it, you'll not only get why these monsters are to be feared, but in some cases pitied. When it was over, I kept trying to wrap my head around the fact that someone not only made a horror mod for a cartoony music game, but did it with excellent music that was great to listen to while still helping tell the story in ways that were somber, creepy, and even sorrowful. The music, by the way, shrugs off what a lot of the fan mods and even the main game does, where a lot of the singing is call and response type, like a game of Simon or Parappa the Rapper. In this game, however, to quote a commentator, it feels like an actual rap battle with each side singing something different. And that's something that a lot of other music games don't do, is they use the music as a way to give depth and presentation to the setting and the characters in it. Amplitude, the new one, is an example of this, where they said it was a concept album, but in the end it just felt like you were playing songs. I'll get back to that one another time. This mod used cutscenes and the way things were spoken or the way the voices were used, as well as having an actual ending to the storyline, really helped it all come together to be as good as it was. When it was over, there were actually files in the game you could read afterwards to give more stories and lore to the setting. I watched this multiple times on Malicious Bunny's channel after she put it up there, because I enjoyed it that much. I hit subscribe for the channel, and like many others, I wanted to know what else this team was capable of. We just witnessed a horror opera in a video game mod. An incredible experience in only 15 minutes of runtime. So what was next?
What is your problem? Why you, of all people, continue to insist on this? Does that make you smile? Does that put a smile on your face? See these damned souls torturing themselves again, day after day. Make you feel happy? Why you don't just leave them alone? But nothing I say will change anything, right? Well, so let's go with it. It's time for the real trolling.
Yeah, there I go padding out the video, I know, but I want people to see these things, even if they don't watch them themselves from her channel. And that second one especially, I will be bringing up in the future. So, more was coming. And during the wait, we had other videos giving updates, some fun and goofing off, and one more incident video of the old style before we were told that there were delays. During this time, however, Update 1.9 came out, with updated charting for the original songs, as well as our first look at a new song. So yeah, our villain of the first one was Smiler, and all he did was stand in a alleyway being depressed and yelling at us with an axe and using TV tricks on us. We get it, he can mind control us. He was a spooky, scary skeleton. What else you got? Is it gone yet? So, yeah, things got better and scarier. And this is telling me three things. The quality of the mod is definitely showing it can keep us with the good stuff, if not better. Secondly, the files shared in that original mod release were definitely hinting at new characters that were going to be introduced to us in the next update. And third, oh man, I can't wait. Now before we go further, I do want to bring up that during this time there were two other Trollface Incident mods that came out, either at the same time as this one or later on in the middle of the wait for the next update. They are good in their own rights and they are worth looking up. The first one to be released is called Funkin Physics at this time, but back when it first came out it used to be called Versus Trollface. The second one is called Friday Night Incident. I bring those up not to compare and contrast, but because of something that happened with Malicious Bunny during this time when they came out. Malicious Bunny actually brought attention to these mods on her channel as well, going so far as to not only play them on the channel while drawing fan art, but also declare that they were canon to the universe of the Blueballs incident, as well as one other mod that to this day hasn't been released yet. And that's really the reason I bring this up at this point, because that was an incredible class act between creators in the fandom. Like any community out there, especially large ones, drama can crop up and cause a lot of problems between things, and in Friday Night Funkin' fandom, it has caused a few mods to implode on themselves. And in a world where I left Facebook for a long time because the Ancient Aliens people on there were making much more sense than the political discourse people were, I was very happy to see something like this in a community. And even though those mods are considered canon in the Blueballs incident, they have no bearing on the Blueballs incident storyline because those mods are their own unique thing. So all this is getting to the point that since that first version of the Blueballs incident was released back in June of 2021, I wanted to talk about the mod for a long time and share it with everybody else that would listen to me. However, I did want to make sure that the full update came out and a full view of the mod could be shared. Finally, on January 31st, 2022, I woke up and noticed a live stream premiere of the Blueballs Incident update. And it was showing the credits when I joined, so yay me. But I still sat there to show my support, make sure they got the view number from me, read people singing their praises in the chat off on the side, and I was starting to realize that I was looking forward to seeing what I had missed. When you go to Malicious Bunny's channel to watch this update, you can actually choose to view the live chat from the same time that it premiered, and I do recommend that you do so. And I am explicitly stating to go watch this video on Malicious Bunny's channel because I don't like it when reaction videos and Let's Players get more views than the actual creator. I know it's the nature of the beast on YouTube, but damn it all anyway. There's a reason my credits keep saying support the official release, even if it sucks. So, I was wondering what I missed, and as I kept watching the live stream, I continued to wonder what I missed when a certain pair of eyes opened. After watching the rest of the live stream and being impressed by an effectively goofy bonus song, as well as an incredible epilogue song, I immediately rewound it so that I could finally get the full experience. Consider my next statement to be an official review of the Blueballs Incident 2.0 update. Go download the mod right now. It's on Game Banana. You don't need anything but the executable. And if you don't think that you can play through it properly, or even if you do, watch the video on Malicious Bunny's channel just so that you can give her some more views as well. It's free for both things, and Malicious Bunny's channel also includes links to the cutscene music, which is just as unique and good. Obviously I can't play good, so I needed to turn on the bot play option, but there's no shame in doing it. This is one of the best video games I have ever seen, and a work of art worth sharing with as many people as I can reach out to. To elaborate, I'll run down the highlights without spoiling the amazing story that happens in it. The music is excellent and consistently excellent. I know the electronica style and all that isn't for everyone. I already know somebody who says they didn't like it. But we all have what we like and we don't in music. That's the risk we all take when trying to say, listen to this, listen to that. But I think even if you don't like the style, you can at least tell each song is unique and not just simple loops of samples or chords. I can't even tell you which one is my favorite. I always wind up listening to the whole thing at once. I will point out, though, that in song 10 or 11, depending on if you count the tutorial song as number 1, it does something that I have never witnessed before, heard, you know what I mean, in any music I've come across. Opera, concept albums, I've asked people that I can that would be in the know about this sort of thing. They do something I've never known anybody else to do. And whoever came up with that idea definitely deserves an award, a medal, something, some recognition for it. Because if it is unique, I don't know how they came up with it. If it isn't unique, I haven't heard it anywhere before, so it must be rare. I mean, we all have limitations in what we hear, but that's the point. That song is mostly the reason why I wanted to make this video and make sure that I gave a deep dive into everything about this mod and later on getting into the story and the setting of everything. I'll bring that up later when we get to it, but the point being, you really need to see this yourself. I honestly feel this mod as a whole is worth being recognized on a wider scale than just as a game or a mod. I know what I said about the one song will make you just look that one up first and get it over with, but trust me, you're not going to get the full experience and more or less understand what's happening in it without listening to all the other ones beforehand. Aside from that, I was impressed by the touches given in the presentation and the music. Things such as the light growing off of television screens, how the background and foreground elements are used with things such as fog and rain. One song even gives us a little bit of... You know what? No, I'm not going to talk about that song. I want you to be surprised by that one just as much as me. The point being, with how everything was presented and the little differences in the songs, you can tell there was a lot of attention put into this game. And not to make grand illustrations and animation, but to make sure the presentation as it was worked as it was. Most importantly, as far as I can tell, boyfriend and girlfriend are still completely in character to how they are from the main game, which also shows us that the mod team was giving a lot of respect to the source material. The trolls' voices are deep and growling, and even at times monstrous, and this lends a tonal contrast to the more high-pitched vocals of boyfriend. It's like a deep bass guitar complementing a shrill electric guitar. And while each troll always feels like a different and memorable character, even when they only show up once, the main villain of it all, who I'll be calling Tall Man to avoid spoilers, winds up being one of the most memorable and original villains I have ever seen. And I don't mean just in video games, I mean in any story, any medium I've seen in a long time. You don't even feel he's a threat until it's too late. But because of all that, we actually get to see character and growth development in boyfriend and girlfriend as well. Something that we're not even seeing in the main game. As of yet, I know they have a full version coming out later. This story actually almost puts the best efforts of Silent Hill to shame. It does all this without even having a mess of blood, guts. It does have a lot of screen shaking and image flashing, however, so do be careful of that if you have sensitivities to that sort of thing. Now, there are some criticisms to talk about, though. There's no difficulty selection, and because of that, there are a lot of hard songs in this. Which, I said I was using bot play, and I guess that is an easy mode. Also, the trolls just using the same voice effect between them do make them sound slightly the same. And the effect used does make it hard to hear what they say without subtitles at certain points in the game. Now, Malicious Bunny and the team is working on another project, and they have already come out to say that they will not be using similar voices between the characters in that one. I won't say what they're working on. I am not going to steal their thunder, so go ahead to Malicious Bunny's Twitter and Patreon account if you want to find out more. But with all that said, I do need to get to my conclusion about this. What I am going to say is full-throated and unapologetic. This was not a mod. This was an experience. Musically, visually, interactively. Blueballs Incident can seriously be called a horror opera for what it is, and that's why I gave it that label previously. And if you watch it, I think you'll agree with me. And that's why I'm using what little exposure I have to make this video to bring light to what Malicious Bunny and her team has done. If I can get one more person to go watch Malicious Bunny and the rest of the team's work on this, I feel I will have succeeded with this video. Now, I would very much love to go deeper into the lore and story about this game to really help make the point of how it all comes together so well, but I really don't want to spoil things for those that are interested. I am going to give my analysis and theories on things involving the setting and characters and things such as that, but I will make a second video to be released in a few days about that. I want you first to see this, experience it, and come up with your own ideas and feelings about the characters, setting, lore, things such as that. I don't want to be somebody who will spoil your experience, change with how you would think of things before you're able to come up with it yourself. I will, however, point out something about the story and why the story is good. In the timeline views shown on the video, you'll notice the peaks and valleys of how many people watched what part. Most of the peaks are from the songs. People that are coming back to rewatch the whole thing, they're just skipping the story segments so they can get to those good music bits. Except for these two spots, specifically. These are the cutscenes that reveal the most notable twists in the game. And so that tells me, and you, that on a rewatch, people are wanting to see those parts of the story. These are the story bits that people don't want to skip from. They don't want to move over these. They want to see them again and again, and they want that experience and feelings again and again. And that is a strong indicator of a good story in any medium. If you told me somebody had developed a cosmic horror story mod for a rhythm music game using a troll face meme, I would have laughed at you and moved on. I'm here to tell you, do not move on from this one. Also, one last thing before I end the video, please stay through the credits for a very special surprise. And a big thank you to Sairi Taikutsu, apologies if I got the name wrong, for providing the credits music for this video, and I am very happy to share that music with everybody else, and I hope you like what I did with it. So for now, I'm going to double check the notes on the next video and get to work on it, and hopefully you'll be here in a few days for the next video where we give a deep dive into the lore, the setting, the characters, and how it all comes together to really sell this mod. In the meantime, though, I do hope you go check it out yourself. Leave comments here and on Malicious Bunny's channel about opinions you have on, comments on this video for opinions on this video, opinions on Malicious Bunny's work over on her channel.
This is all my fault. I did all those terrible things to him. How am I going to face my sins if I can't even defeat this brat? Well, just do what you came to do.